Last week, an elderly lady from Antis Bay got stole or lost 27,000 from her accounts. Officially, she reported that she got a call from an official from a certain bank that asked her some personal details, making her believe that it was a transaction that the bank was doing to migrate her account from a saving account to a current account or something like that. So she basically lost 27,000.
She lost 27,000.
Yes, 27,000. And it's only last week, on the 23rd of June. It's quite amazing what's happening right now. So many people are subject to frauds and scam of any type of things.
Especially our senior citizens, our elders, whether
Exactly.
it's parents or grandparents. This is a very common occurrence, especially online, and especially nowadays that, yeah, as we've been discussing, everything is digital and your information is already out there. So to get scammed like this it's very unfortunate, but I do believe that it's awareness that we as the youth need to create for our elderly. We need to advise them properly. What do you say, Michael?
I said, like, for that, we kind of have to go to the route of the problems. Like, elders, they grow up in a time where people were trusting each other. And then scammers do target elders because they do believe they have saving accounts, pension money in their account and stuff.
Yeah.
So some of them have some don't have. But then also you have to think about the fact that some of our elders are not really IT literated. They are not properly teach how
Yeah,
to
they're
use
not
these
computer
different things.
savvy.
Exactly.
You know, I would always say like we grew up with the things, so we understand it more.
Yeah, definitely.
And like, the trust that's been built for computers nowadays has been completely twisted. The way I would always imagine it is like back in the day, you had encyclopedia books, you had your dictionaries, you had the newspaper, so you knew where your source of information was coming from. Then it got turned to, no, just Google it, Google's your
Yeah.
friend.
Google knows everything.
Yeah. And now it's getting changed even now to, no, just ask AI, ask your favorite chatbot, and he will have the answer, right?
Yeah, it's true.
But I think the main cause or the main root of the problem actually comes from lack of experience as well as lack of understanding of these scams and these frauds,
Basically, how they work.
how they work.
Yeah,
Yeah.
true.
So I think we can maybe just break down the most common. I mean, there's a lot out there, but the most common is your grandparent scam, where someone poses as maybe your grandchild, and then they're like,
I mean, grandparents always give money to
they're
their
like,
grandchild,
yeah,
So you
yeah,
just call
yeah. So
grandma and be like, Grandma, I need a
I need
kanyana.
grandma. I'm in a tight pinch right now. Can you please send me X amount of money?
Yeah.
That's a very common scam. Um, to prevent that, I would always say, look at the number. It's high likelihood it's an unknown number to you, and if you can, contact the number you know of the person. So if it's, let's say it's your grandson or your granddaughter that's calling from a random number, you can't differentiate whether it's true or not, hang up the phone, call them and ask, is this really you?
So that is our elders that should do that.
I do believe so. Because, yeah, all of this does fall under social engineering. So it's, of course, based on urgency, trust, and importance.
Yeah.
There's, of course, more techniques to social engineering, but I do believe for the elderly, this is very important just so that you can navigate that. These scammers, these fraudsters, they try to play on your trust. They try to play on the urgency of the situation.
Yes.
It's no longer just, I'm calling,
Yeah, the thing is, like, I get, but the main issue, like we say, with our seniors, is like some of them don't have access to somebody that can teach them all of this to be able to, like, aware of IT. Some of them are in pension houses, and then they've of course been taken care of by the different nurses that are working there, but they don't have anybody on day-to-day basis to try to help them. And then unfortunately, also some of them are quite lonely in the way that they don't talk to their family member.
You know what's actually scary?
Yeah,
As we were doing research for this episode, I realized that the romance scam is one of the biggest. And it makes a lot of sense that, of course, if you're at that stage of life, you've probably lost most of your family members, most of
exactly.
your friends, probably you're a widower or a widow. And nowadays, people are really trying to, it's sad. People are really trying
I
to
mean, it's sad.
scam them by
Yeah,
posing as someone else to create a romantic relationship,
it's true,
only
but
then to, of course, gain something financially.
where there's loneliness, there's money, like they say. But elders are more susceptible because, of course, they are lonely, and then they want somebody to be able to interact with them on a daily basis. And then that's where the point of those scammer be strong. But then it's not the only type. Like we say, there is like the love and romance type of scam. There is the one that you mentioned that is calling and fishing. So basically,
Mm-hmm.
when they call your elders and say like, "Oh no, grandma, I need some money from you,"
Yeah,
or "I
yeah,
need
yeah.
some assurance from you." And then there is also these things like the example of the ladies from Antis Bay, where she really did believe it was an official from the bank calling her to say and posing for official transaction.
Yeah.
So there is different type of scam that they're exposed to, and it'll be so good if we can give like a way or an opportunity or method or technique for our elders to know like, okay, uh, if they call me, like you mentioned, if they call me, I don't know the number, do I have to call or do I not have to call?
I
To
would
pick up
say,
the call.
um, if let's say you already picked up the call and they're asking for money, posing as a son, a daughter, a grandson, a granddaughter, I would say hang up the phone. If you have that person's contact details,
Hmm.
contact them immediately and ask, is this really you? And the likelihood that that person is the one in the pinch is probably very unlikely. So if you, let's say, if my grandmother called me and asked, did you ask me for money? I'll be like, no, I never do that. You know this by now. Why would
Yeah,
I
it's
now
true.
call you all of a sudden and say I need money?
Definitely.
So yeah, back to your point about the lady from Henties. Unfortunately, the elderly are way more susceptible than the youth to these types of scams because of the trust, you know.
Exactly.
But one
They grew
thing,
up in a time where people were trusting each other.
yeah,
And
you trusted the individual, but what I think is really important to point out is that the bank won't call you
yeah,
to
that is
do such a
something really
transaction.
to
Yeah,
put a point on. Bank will never call you to ask you for your personal details to do a transaction.
the government as well.
Government also. I
Yeah.
do believe any agency will never do that. Any serious agency will never call you to ask you to do a personal transaction or do something like that.
Yeah.
So it's part of the normal standard. So for our elderly, they will never call you. So if a bank call you or police call you saying like you have to make a payment now, just
Did
don't do that.
Did you see the scam about, I think it was from Nampol, where, okay, so basically the police here in Namibia, there was a phishing text message that was sent out saying, listen, you were speeding.
Yeah, I saw
Please
that
click the
one.
link.
Please click the link to
It
he
was
was
sent
going to
to it
everybody.
was sent
Yeah,
to a
yeah.
colleague of ours, and
Yes.
what made me laugh at first was
Doesn't
like,
even have a car.
um, let's be honest. If you are someone who's frequently driving and you get such a message and you're stressed or you're tired, you might panic and want to click the link, right? I think if it was me, because I do a lot of driving, I might have been like, "Ooh, I need to see what this issue is." But first thing that caught my attention was the number. It was +63, which I think you were the one who said it was from the
Yeah,
Philippines.
it was a Philippine number. It's not
And
even
then
Namibian.
when I scrolled down and I looked at the URL of the link, I was like, "Oh, this is a phishing link."
Yeah.
And then what made it even funnier was the person they send it to doesn't even own a
Yeah.
car, doesn't even have a driver's
Shout out
license.
to that person, by the way. She was amazed. She was like, she was panicking because she was like, I got the ticket, but you don't have a car. How can you get the ticket? So it
But you
was
see,
amazing.
it can
It was
happen to
amazing.
anybody. Let's not go
Exactly.
and say no. Our grandmothers are so susceptible. It can happen to anybody, but they are more likely to click on these links, to be scammed, because these are the target audience for these fraudsters.
Exactly. And like we have mentioned, there is really less exposure to what is happening in terms of IT for them because, they're tired. They've been working. They just want to enjoy their time off, see family, goes to the farm and enjoy their time. So when they see this type and give them stress, they're more inclined to click on the things. But then, so this, I believe it can be some of the advice we can give. Never share your contact details. Bank, governments, police will never call you for your personal information to do for a transaction. When your grandson or grandson call you for money, some of them do really call you for money. But then if you don't know the number, just don't send money. Just always double check.
And I think what's most important, this is for all of us, second guess everything. Pause, think to yourself for a second, is this really true? Don't just do it in a panic or in a rush, because like we mentioned, it's social engineering and they'll be really trying to, of course, manipulate you. It's psychology at the end of the day. When you feel rushed and tempted, you tend to make mistakes.
Yeah.
Take the time, take a breather. If you need to call the person, reach out to, maybe if you can't get a hold of your grandson, maybe you can speak to his mother.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's important that we were able to get this out. I mean, last week we spoke about child safety. This week, I think it's important to raise awareness for our seniors out there. I hope I hope if you are listening to us, send this to a senior, send this to your mom, send this to your dad, send this to your grandparents. Let them listen. Let them also try and understand. If they have questions, please help them out. Trust me, as a grandson, I know it can sometimes become annoying,
Yeah.
but rather be that person, rather be the shield before the disaster strikes.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Anyways, thank you for listening.
Yes.
Uh,
Don't re-
somebody's always watching.
Exactly. Somebody's always watching. Thank you.